All right, everybody, warm welcome. Welcome to morning practice. Please sit in a nice alert position. There is some connection between our posture and our states of mind. So if you can sit in a nice, dignified, alert position, you'll find your mind states also correspond to that. So one thing that's quite strange, quite evident, but not always noticed, is that wherever we go, we're always at the center of the universe. Wherever we go, we're always at the center of the universe. Sometimes you're told, the world doesn't revolve around you. But actually, it does revolve around us. That's our direct experience of saying it does revolve around us. We are always at the center of the universe. We're the center of our local universe. And we don't have to give it any more meaning than that. Just notice that, oh, interesting, that everything is always arranging itself around me. So while I've been told, and I may think that I'm going through life, the truth is I'm always at the center of life. And around the center, there are thoughts, there are feelings, there's the physical body, there's an environment, there are other bodies, and there's the whole outer world. So take a moment to adjust yourself to this reality. It is the reality. You are always at the center of the known universe. Not some imaginary universe, your actual experienced universe. You are always at the center of that. And that's a bit of a hint, isn't it? It's a hint to come back to center. If I'm always at the center of all my experience, and if I've tried exploring all kinds of experiences, I've tried exploring many sights, many sounds, and many tastes, and many conversations, and many other experiences, and that hasn't fulfilled me completely, then there's a hint over there. And try going in the other direction. Try coming back to center. And the reason we don't always do that, or we don't not comfortable doing that, is Because it's not so clear. It's kind of unknown. Don't quite know what to look for. And it's precisely this unknown that we need to get comfortable with. Comfortable with not knowing. Comfortable with not being in control. When we say center, we don't mean center of your body. What we really mean is something is aware of this body. Something is aware of these thoughts, these feelings, isn't it? Where is that? Where am I? And it's funny that it doesn't really have a location in space. It doesn't even have a location in time. Because even space and time appear to it. So how can it be located inside of it? So you can simply ask yourself the question, what is the center of the center? Where is the center of the center? What is taking delivery of every experience? You will not get an answer because the answer is not located within this box. So don't expect an answer to fit inside this box, the box of what you already know. Think of it more like a doorway. This question is like a doorway that's taking you out of this box. What is the center of the center? Where is the center of the center? What is taking delivery of every experience? I get the image of a seed, in the right conditions. A tremendous tension grows inside the seed and it bursts open into a sprout, into a new reality. So these kinds of questions will create a kind of tension inside of you. It's not a bad tension. It's going to challenge the edge of what you know, take you to the edge of what you know. And our normal tendency is we want to quickly dissipate the tension. We want to distract ourselves with something we see or hear or taste or smell. But if you can just hold the tension, it's not a bad tension, it's a good tension. It's the tension of a mother on the brink of giving birth. All of you have this tension right now. It doesn't have to always be unpleasant. Even pleasant is a kind of tension. Your current life experience is a big question mark, isn't it? And that's a tension. And this tension just needs your attention. You don't need to fix it, change it, resolve it. Just let that seed stay there in the right conditions. It's bound to sprout. So sit with me in the middle of the middle. And accept the mental condition, the emotional condition, the physical condition, the life condition, exactly the way it is. Exactly the way it is. Stay with this tension. For once in your life, don't run away from it. Just for once in your life. Often we are meditating to come to a place of ease and relaxation. But like you know in life, everything you move towards creates the opposite as well. So today, instead of trying to move towards ease and relaxation, recognize the inherent tension. The inherent tension that at the center of your life is a big question mark. We're doing all of this for ourselves and for others, but we don't know who we are. At the very core, we don't know who we are. At the very core, we don't know what it's all about. And we can try to pacify ourselves with 100 stories. But the reality is we don't know. The reality is we don't know. and stay with that. Again, it's easy to go into, oh, what's the point? We can't know anyway, let it go. Or, what difference does it make? Let's work with what we have. Let's do what we know. This is slipping into extremes. Stay alive to your predicament. You are always at the center of the universe. What is the center? What is the center of the center? And from where I am, it seems very wholesome. Each one of us being patient with the inherent tension of not knowing, not understanding, being clueless. Dogen Zenji said, life is one continuous mistake. The life of a Zen master is one continuous mistake. What am I? Where am I? Who is taking delivery of all these experiences? Sounds, sights, thoughts, feelings. And just staying on the edge like this is like the seed getting the right conditions, just the right soil, just the right moisture, just the right temperature. And at the right time, a kind of sprouting will happen. But we can't force it. Which is why the Buddha said that this teaching goes against the flow, against the flow. The normal flow is being sucked towards pleasant sights, pleasant sounds, taste, touch, wanting sensory pleasures. Most of us here also sucked towards sensory pleasures. And the ability to stay with this unknown, stay with this tension, stay with this predicament, stay with what's not clear. This is against the flow. It's not easy, but it's very healthy. What I really appreciate about the Buddha's teachings is that he doesn't dodge it. He just tells it to you the way it is. He talks straight to the point that there is this inherent tension. And we can try to cover it up in 1,000 ways, but it doesn't go away. We can be glued to our phones. We can get involved in shopping. We can invent some project that keeps us busy for the next 6 months or 6 years. But this is just covering it up. Some people think that cosmetic surgery will do it. Some people think that travel will do it. Some people think that a affair will do it. New diet will do it. New practice will do it. New religion will do it. Doesn't do it. Or maybe it temporarily feels like something's happened. So this is very, very good. This is Samma Samadhi, right concentration. You're concentrating at the core, not in some imaginary this or that. It's the core. It's the big question mark at the center of your life. And we don't know, don't understand. No easy answers here. It's quite messy. And we open ourselves up to this mess. Before I slept last night, I had the thought that whatever practice we do this morning, it should have an effect for the whole day. It shouldn't be something you forget in 10, 15 minutes. It should have an effect for the whole day, at the very least. So the practice we're doing this morning is staying with our tension, the tension of not knowing, the tension of not having it all figured out, not knowing what we are, where we are, who's taking delivery of the experience. Why, for some strange reason, I am always at the center of the universe. So stand in this fire with me. Don't let up. Don't try to release the tension by getting into some fantasy. Stay here. Staying with your present experience. Who is having this experience? I am. Who am I? Who is having this experience? Well, I am. Oh, who am I? Where am I? What am I? The pregnant mother has to come to the edge of her ability before there can be new birth. The seed gets filled with moisture and inner activation, comes to the edge before it bursts open and sprouts. The cloud comes to the edge and then it becomes rain. You and I will also have to come to the edge. The answer will not be found in the box. Recently watching an interview with Gabor Mate, doctor who talks about healing trauma. This is someone who was born at the time of the Holocaust and experienced tremendous abandonment issues and came very close to dying even as an infant. Later on became a workaholic doctor. And at the height of a very successful practice, went on to work with the most marginalized groups, people in hospice who are about to die, drug addicts, people on the fringe of society. Spent 14, 15 years working with these people who society doesn't have much use for these people. And so his wisdom blossomed from going where most of us hesitate to go, holding hands of people who are going to die in a few days, looking into their eyes, meeting people who their own family has given up on them, living on the streets, addicted to drugs. And I found a certain depth and wisdom in his words. To me, that was an example of staying with the tension, staying on the edge, not running away from the hard parts of life, acknowledging his own trauma, his own brokenness, acknowledging that he doesn't have easy answers to things. He'd gone beyond knowledge into wisdom. That's an example of the blossoming that happens as you stay with the tension. You don't necessarily have to go and meet people who are dying or meet people who are at the edge of society. You can if you want to. You don't have to. Right now, you can confront the part of you. Knows it's going to die. Doesn't want to acknowledge it. Knows it's addicted in some way or the other. Doesn't want to acknowledge it. That's attention right there. Bring attention to your tension. And just stay with it. Don't look for relief. I think of the Buddha sitting under the Bodhi tree and thinking, I will sit here until I wake up. I will sit here until I wake up, even if it means I die in the process. Even if it means my body crumbles into dust, I will sit here until I wake up. That is some tension right there. And stay with that tension. These are the best moments of our life, whether it feels like it or not. These are the most worthwhile moments of this life. Makes everything worthwhile. Acknowledging that we don't really know the meaning of it all, the purpose of it all. Really acknowledging that. Strangely enough, that's meaningful. That's honest. I get the image that we're all burning here together. It's a very good burning. It's a healthy burning. The willingness to stay on the edge of the known and the unknown. The willingness to not turn away, go back into familiar thoughts and familiar patterns. That willingness. The willingness to contain this tension. The kind of burning. It's a good burning. Burn a little deeper. Burn a little brighter. Burn a little longer. What am I? Where am I? Who is taking delivery of all of this? How come I am always at the center of this universe? Everything is known except the center. Please don't wait till the end of your life to ask these questions. Please don't expect an easy answer, cute answer. Expect more tension, more unknown, more uncertainty. And submit yourself to that. Because everything else is just the illusion of the known, the illusion of certainty. It's not like you have a choice. so healthy. One morning after the meal, Ajahn Chah asked his monks to come to the meditation hall wearing all their robes. And this particular hall was out in the open, in the sun. So the monks came wearing all their robes, upper robe, outer robe. That's at least 3 layers of cloth. And covered from neck down to their toes. And he got them to sit there, meditate. The sun hitting on the tin roof, making the whole place like an oven. No fans, no AC. Nobody knew what's going on, why they're sitting there. And they sit there half an hour, 1 hour, everyone's sweating. They're drenched in sweat. They're hoping it'll be over after an hour. Keeps going, 1.5 hours, 2 hours. What's going on? 2.5 hours. When will this end? People are struggling physically, they're struggling mentally. It's so hot, so uncomfortable. For 3 hours, he made them sit. He sat with them. At some point in those 3 hours, you have to let go. It's too hot, you have to let go. You have to let the body do its body thing. You have to let the emotions do their emotion thing. You have to let the mind do its mind thing. You have to let go. There's no choice. It's too painful. So, in their own ways, each teacher creates a kind of tension. When I was a young monk, then I didn't like the system of my monastery. It was too busy, a lot of activities, lots of duties. I felt, we should be meditating more. And I had a judgment about the way the monastery was run. And my teacher said, no, just be patient, stay with this. But after 2 years, I felt, no, this is the wrong monastery. I need to go to another monastery. So I left. But looking back, I understand that it's not the way we think it should be. It's never the way we think it should be. So my teacher wanted me to go through the fire of staying with things the way they are instead of superimposing my ideas how practice should be. So those of you who are connected with me in this work, you will have your own idea, assumption of how these teachings should be, how I should be, how this community should be. And guess what? It's not going to match your ideas. And it's going to create some tension. And I invite you to stay with that tension. Stay with that pain. Stay with that disappointment. Stay with that attachment, that expectation, and burn with it. Don't look for relief. There's no relief. Sit in the middle of the fire. Who is experiencing this tension? I am. Who am I? Yesterday, somebody told me about their mother who was a great devotee, loved the Ramayana, very religious, very pious, did all the rituals, never missed a day. And then in the later part of her life, lost her husband and completely turned her back to all of that, cynical of all of that, skeptical of all of that, not interested in all of that. And from where I am, that's neither good nor bad. It's a kind of tension. And this tension requires attention. Bring attention to the tension at the center of your life. The tension of not knowing, not understanding the most fundamental things, who you are, what this is about, why you are always at the center of the universe. So we can feel sad like this. Oh, my mother shouldn't be like this. Well, you don't know that. That's your tension. The mother may be sad. Oh, I wasted my life believing wrong things. Or life has been unfair to me. Whatever. Stay with that. Acknowledge that. Own that. Burn in the middle of that. Tension doesn't always feel bad. Sometimes it feels good. Even pleasant experiences have their own tension. There's the tension of unworthiness. There's the tension of knowing it's going to change. Burn with that. Stay with that. Go deeper. Wider. Longer. There is tension, but who is taking delivery of the tension? That which is taking delivery, is that tense? Very important question. This one question can change your life. There is tension, there is stress, but that which is knowing the stress, taking delivery of the stress, is that stressed? Is that tense? Flip the pancake. Nice mantra for all of you. Bring attention to your attention. Marinate in it. Cook in it. This is real. This is authentic. Don't be lazy. Don't expect answers from me or anybody else. That's lazy. That's not trusting yourself. You've been put in the middle of the universe. You need to trust yourself. Eventually, you'll have to discard all these teachers, all these teachings. They've served their purpose by getting you this far. From here on, you should walk on your own. Deeper and deeper into the unknown. We are born alone. Even twins are born alone, one by one. And we die alone. We must do this alone. It's so wholesome, so healthy, so pure, so honest. It's so simple. It's so undeniable. So something very beautiful has been brought into your awareness today. It's a transmission, it's a gift from life to you. It's about you meeting you the way you are. It's about not distracting yourself from what's important. It's not getting satisfied with temporary relief. It's about staying in the fire. Yesterday, we were reading a Zen teaching which said that there is no correct way to respond. There is no perfect way to respond. And there is no perfect way to not respond. can't just copy paste. So I would expand that and say there is no perfect way to live. And there is no imperfect way to live. Notice how you're always at the center of your experience, center of your universe. What am I? Who am I? Where am I? What's this all about? Let your certainties crumble. Don't be satisfied with kindergarten answers, hand-me-down answers from authority figures. At some point, you have to defocus on the finger and look at the moon. Fingers are pointing at the moon. We get attached to the finger. Bring attention to your attention. Deeper, wider, longer. Again, again, again. Whatever wants to be born from this, revealed through this, purified, cleansed. Whatever needs to precipitate from this, blossom from this, bloom from this. That'll happen by itself. That's the effect. Don't worry about the effect. Focus on the cause. And what is the cause? Bring attention to your attention and just stay there. Ajahn Chah used to say, eat less, talk less, sleep less, practice a lot. Eat less, don't numb yourself with food. Talk less, don't numb yourself with social interactions, meaningless conversations. There's a powerful teaching from the Christian monastics. Do not speak unless spoken to. Do not speak unless someone asks you something. Just be quiet. Eat less, don't numb yourself with food. Talk less, don't numb yourself with conversations. Sleep less, don't numb yourself through sleep. Practice a lot. What is the practice? Bring attention to your attention. Thank you. Take a few deep breaths if you like. May the ripples of this practice influence your whole day, whole night, and hopefully your whole life and the beyond. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Tathastu. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining.